Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Dwi Komaria. I'm from TBI 2, 5th semester. So now I would like to explain about the definition and type of qualitative research. Okay, first I would like to explain what the definition about qualitative research. So, qualitative research is scientific method of observation to gather non-numerical data. This type of research refers to the meaning, concept, definition, or description about something and not to their count or measure. A good example of qualitative research method would be unstructured interview, which generate qualitative data through use of open question. This is allow the respondent to talk in some depth and choosing their own word. And picture, video, sound recording can be considered to be qualitative data. Next, I would like to explain about type of qualitative research. The first type is basic qualitative studies. This type provide rich descriptive account that target to understand about phenomena, process, or particular point of view from the perspective of those involved. The purpose of this study is to understand about the world or experience of others. Basic qualitative studies can use a variety of techniques to collect data by analyze, identify on a recurring theme or pattern. The research who use this study usually use us about how do the event or process or activity that participant feel like that. The second type is case studies. Case studies emerging from approach in business, law, and medicine. Case study focus on a single unit to produce an in-depth description. This study usually include multiple sources of data collected over time. The advantage of this study is the possibility of that it strive for understand the whole case in the totality of the environment. So not only about the individual action, but sometimes about his past or environment, emotion, and so on. There are three types of case study. The first type is intrinsic case. So, the definition of intrinsic case is to understand a particular case that may be unusual, unique, or different in some way. And the second type is instrumental case. So, the research select the case and believe this particular case can help provide insight and can help to understand that issue. And the last type is collective case study. So use several case select to further understand and investigate about phenomena or population or general condition like that. And the next type is content or document analysis. Content or document analysis is a research method that apply to written or visual the material for the purpose to identifying specific characteristic of the material. The material can be textbook, newspaper, web page, television program, and speech, and others. Content analysis is usually used in education. There are some purpose of this type. The first purpose is to identify prejudice or propaganda in textbook, and the second, to analyze type of error student, then to describe prevailing practice, and to discover the level of difficulty of material in textbook or other publication. And the last purpose is to discover the relative importance of certain topic. There are some advantage of this this time. The first advantage is the observer doesn't influence what is being observed, and you do not you do not need to enlist the corporation or subject, and you do not need to get permission to study, and they are easily to replicated. The next type is ethnographic studies. Ethnographic studies is the in-depth study of naturally occurring behavior within culture or entire of social group. It seeks to understand about the relationship between culture and behavior, with culture referring to the share about belief, value, concept, or practice and attitude of a specific from a group of people. The main advantage of this type is observation of behavior in a real life setting. It assumption being that human behavior can be fully uh, understood only by knowing the setting in which it occurred. Meanwhile, the main limitation of this type is that the finding depends heavily on the particular research. We have observation in interpretation of the data. Okay, and after that, I would like to explain about ground theory studies. Theory studies has its root in sociology. The purpose of this type is to generate or discover a theory about a practice and phenomena using interview and observation. The theory of grounded in the data and conceptually dense that is it present many conceptual relationships that are start are preposition pertaining to a particular context or situation and experience. The important thing that you have to remember about this type is you do not begin with a theory and then you attempt to prove it, but you can begin with an area of study, and then what is relevant is allow to emerge your research. Then I would like to explain about historical studies. Historical studies are oriented to the past rather than to the present, and thus use different data collection method from those used in other qualitative research. Historical research is included in qualitative research because of its emphasis on interpretation and its use of non-numerical data. Historical is the attempt to search about the truth and arrive at conclusion concerning the past, and historical research systematically located, evaluate, interprets evidence from which people can learn about the past. Okay, next type is narrative research. Narrative research is research that describe about life individual, collect and tell stories about people life and write narrative individual experience. The key question of this type is what is the meaning and what is the story through this person experience. There are some methodology of narrative research. The first methodology is identify of narrative research, and the second, choose an individual to learn about phenomenon, and the third, collect a story that reflect to personal experience, and the fourth, retell the individual story, and after that, collaborate with participants in all phases of research, and then write a story uh, about the participant personal experience. And the last, of course, you have to validate the accuracy of the report. A narrative research can be any text or discourse. Narrative research provides account of human experience by collecting and analyzing of stories about person life. The researchers have to understand the life experience of an individual or small group. Narrative research use document or other source of personal information to illuminate a person's life. Uh, then, written in a story format, the studies attempt to communicate the meaning of experience and and have become increasingly popular. Okay, the last type is phenomenological research. Phenomenological research is a study that attempt to understand about people perception, uh, perspective, and understanding of a particular situation. The key question of this type is what is the experience of an activity or a concept from the perspective of particular participant. There are four methodology of phenomenological research. The first methodology is bracketing. In bracketing is a process of setting aside personal experience, biases, and about the research topic. And the second is institution. So in the situation, the researchers remain open the meaning or attribute to the phenomenon of those who have experienced it. And the third is analyzing. So in analyzing is categorizing and making sense of the essential meaning of the phenomenon. And the last methodology is description. So the researcher comes to understand and to define the phenomenon. Okay guys, I think it's enough for today. I hope this video very useful for you and can add your knowledge, and of course I hope you can understand my explanation about the definition and type of qualitative research. And also, I'm sorry if I have many mistake in this video, and I'm sorry if my pronunciation is very bad because I still learn how to speak English well. And wait for next video. Thank you for watching. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Annyeong!